body bags were horror lies.
Who is this irresistible creature who has an insatiable love for the dead?
Hey guys, happy Thursday, this is your fright chick speaking. Okay, so apologies if I sound weird. I have a cold, and it is cold, hence the dressing gown. But yes, we're going to talk about one of my favourite films. Fuck it, fuck you haters, this is a good film. So this is Wishmaster, came out in 1997. I will champion this movie till the day I die because it is one of those gems, and the character in this, obviously the Wishmaster, the Djinn, played by Andrew Divoff, he kind of, this whole thing just kind of flew under the radar, okay? It's kind of like Angus Scrimm as the Tall Man, or even Victor Crowley in Hatchet. They are just as good as Freddy Krueger and Michael Myers, etc., but not a lot of people actually do know about them. I mean, I know a bunch do, but they kind of fly under the radar, you know? Which is a shame, because this is a great film. And the glare is terrible. So anyways, this came out in 1997, and it actually does feature cameos from Robert Englund, Tony Todd and Kane Hodder. They're all in this, even if they're only in it for like a minute, some of them, but they all show up in this movie, which was great. But the whole film centres on a woman called Alex, basically. I mean, there's a few characters, but it is literally just her and the Djinn. So she is like what the fuck do you call it? She's like a scientist, okay? Blah-de-blah. I'm not exactly sure what department she works for, I can't remember, but the very, very opening of the movie, we have a narrative by Mr. Angus Scrimm, the Tall Man, explaining to us where the Djinn came from, and it is very dark, okay? This is like, they've started doing this in the last, I'd say, 10 years, but this came out in 97, where they're trying to make it so that genies aren't, you know, lovable, happy characters. They are these dark, twisted, evil things, you know, and we shouldn't call them genies, we should call them Djinn, because they are so fucking dark. So we open with a party. It's set a long, long time ago, and it is a Persian emperor, and he's got like a sorcerer companion, and he has been granted his wishes. He is now on his third wish, and if he makes his third wish, then the Djinn realm can open and they can take back the earth, basically. But the sorcerer beside him manages to trap him in a fire opal, which is how he manages to get out in our present day of 1997. So that's like a little opening bit. And then we cut to 1997, where we have a drunk crane operator who basically drops a statue. It's like a big crate with a statue in it, and he drops it and kills someone. And the statue breaks, and the fire opal is inside of it. It was basically built, the statue was made as a prison to keep the Djinn's gem in, so that no one could let him out. But of course, some random dickhead pulls the fire opal out of the statue and pawns it. It eventually makes its way to Alexandra, which is where she analyses it, and by doing so, she manages to free the Djinn. That is literally the whole film. That is how it all happens, and the Djinn is now out. She doesn't know this. It causes a huge explosion in the lab, and her friend is killed, and she's basically just trying to deal with it afterwards. She has a younger sister, Shannon, I believe her name is. Her parents were killed in a fire a few years ago, and she's kind of responsible for Shannon. This gets brought up quite a few times in the movie as like a huge fear of Alex's. Doesn't really mean much, but it does get brought up a lot. So she's trying to deal with the fact that her friend has died, and it might clearly have something to do with this gem, because there was something not right about it that she noticed pretty quickly when she was analysing it. The Djinn is now walking around. He steals the face of a corpse who happens to be Andrew Divoff, and then walks around with him. And as he's trying to then search for the wisher, who is Alex, he's going around the city granting wishes to random people, which of course turns sour. But he's basically doing that. He has this wonderful, wonderful gravelly voice that he uses, and he's just got an evil face. If any of you watch Supernatural, it's kind of like if Castiel was fucking evil. It's really good. So that's kind of like literally where the majority of the movie goes, until say like the last 20 minutes, I'd say. He's walking around the city granting wishes, and she is trying to track down where this gem came from. She manages to make her way back to Robert Englund's character, who was going to be the new owner of the statue, and therefore, you know, was going to have the gem, but he didn't know the gem was inside of it, I don't think. And she tries to learn more about Djinn as she starts picking up bits of information. She finds a woman that knows all about Djinn in their, you know, rare, pure form, and gives her proper information about it. And she keeps getting these little visions here and there because the people that are granting wishes, thanks to Mr. Andrew Divoff, are getting their souls collected and dying, and it's all gross, and she basically sees it happening. So that's literally where we're going through the whole film. Wishes are getting granted. She's got a connection to the jinn. He's trying to find her. He does kind of manifest himself to her a few times, basically saying, you know, you need to make a wish. You are the wisher. You need to make a wish. Blah, 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 blah. Trying to scare her into making wishes. She learns that if she does make a third wish, then, you know, all hell will break loose. Hell on earth, basically. She doesn't want that to happen, but she doesn't know how to stop it. So we get to kind of the climax of the movie, where he kind of gate crashes a big party that's being held by Robert Englund's character. You know, like, he's kind of like a curator, so it's one of those posh parties where everyone's, you know, just like, oh yes, we're just so rich and everything, like an art party. So Shannon is there as someone's day, and the Wishmaster basically lures Alex there. That is where our big climax happens, because the rest of the movie is just kind of cat and mouse, basically. But he lures her to the party, and a whole load of crap. This I remember seeing this as a kid, and it actually did freak me out. Robert Englund makes a wish that he would like to have a party like the one he'd heard about, which was the party that we saw at the beginning of the movie, where the Persian Emperor had made a wish and it had gone terribly wrong, and all the party guests died in horrible, disgusting ways. He wished to have a party just like that, not knowing what had actually happened, and then everyone starts dying, and it's fucking creepy as shit, because just like shit comes off the walls and just impales people. I think there's CDs at one point impaling people, and people are getting like twisted messes. It's kind of like Hellraiser. It's like something out of Hellraiser. It was awful. But Alex manages to find a way to get him back in the gem, and she does this by making her third wish, which is to have the drunk crane operator not be drunk 2 days ago. So the fact that he wasn't drunk meant that he didn't drop the statue, which meant the jinn did not get out. And it is brilliant. I was like, fuck, I never would have thought of that. I never ever would have thought of that. But it's a wonderful moment when she manages to undo everything that has happened in the movie, and we jump back to 2 days ago and everything is right. She still has her memory of this and what's happened, and it's basically all good. It ends on a happy note, but I will say this, it ends on a happy note, but we have 3 sequels, 3 fucking sequels to this, and I have all of them, which means I'm probably going to have a Wishmaster thing going on body bags for the next 3 more weeks. But I do remember, I think it's the second one I liked. I liked the second one. This is the only one that has Wes Craven's name attached to it. And you can tell because the sequels suck, okay? They really do. I mean, they're not good. The second one was kind of interesting, but it wasn't good. And I don't believe Andrew Divoff is in the later ones. I think he's in the second one, but I don't think he's in the later ones. But yeah, him as a character and the whole Wishmaster thing and just the concept is brilliant. Him acting it out was genius. He was perfect for the role, and I really do get annoyed that Wishmaster as a series is not more talked about and isn't as big as it should be, because I genuinely think that this particular movie is, I won't say 10 out of 10, that's just stupid. I'll give it 8 out of 10. 8 out of 10 just for Mr. Andrew Divoff. But yes, so that is Wishmaster. And now I'm going to go and get a hot water bowl and some food and make myself feel better. And I will see you guys next week. Bye.